My people, the time for change is now. We will not be silenced. Our voices will be heard.
Hi, dear viewers. Surely you must have seen many beautiful, expensive, and luxury motorbikes, bikes that are famous for their quality and excellent performance. But today we are going to show you a bike that is extremely cheap. A bike that, because of technology, has become the center of attention around the world. Some young men in Burkina Faso have succeeded in making such a motorcycle using an astonishing method. A bike that runs without petrol, without diesel, without smoke, and without any noise. A bike that has disturbed the owners who rule the world because of fuel. You must be thinking, if the motorbike doesn't run on petrol or any other fuel, then does it run on water? Viewers, this is the world's cheapest, environmentally friendly, and astonishing motorbike that has been made capable of running only on sunlight. This bike is the result of limited resources, old spare parts, and the struggle of young men, and it has amazed not only its owners, but the whole world. Get ready, because what you are about to see is not just a bike, but the big thinking of a small country with the power to change the world. Burkina Faso, a small country in the heart of Africa, where even the basic necessities of life often seem like a dream. Here, petrol is expensive and rarely available. People walk many kilometers daily to reach schools and workplaces. Even for the smallest tasks, they have to struggle. The youth here often think, can we also progress like other countries of the world, or will poverty always be an obstacle in the path of our dreams? But it was this environment that gave birth to a revolutionary idea in the minds of some young men. They began to think, if petrol is not available, can we make sunlight our fuel? A question that might be just a dream for most people became a challenge for these youths to use their limited resources and never extend their hand before anyone. A few young men, some old motorcycle spare parts, and a few solar panels. That was the material from which a dream was born. This was not an ordinary project. Every step carried the risk of failure. Every part, every wire, and every battery was an experiment, and every experiment was a lesson. The first question was how to generate and maintain electricity and motion, how to place the solar panels at such angles that every moment of the day they absorb maximum sunlight, how to make the battery system strong enough to run the bike even after the sun sets. Day and night, the hard work continued in the workshop. The youth rotated the wheels of their prototypes, checked batteries, and after every failure, they tried again. But this was only the beginning. With limited resources, old spare parts, and a small workshop, making a complete solar bike was an extremely complex and time-consuming challenge. Young students and boys kept working continuously with their small experimental setups and manual tools. They adjusted the solar panel angles at different times of the day to see which angle absorbed the most light. The technical aspects of the motorbike were also a big challenge. It was not easy to merge the engines and chain systems of old motorcycles with an electric motor powered by the sun. The youths experimented with gear ratios, torque, and wheel alignment. They tried to understand how extra weight would affect motor speed and battery consumption. Through hard work and observation, they often caught mistakes that even ordinary engineers could overlook. They observed the reasons for voltage fluctuations, the angles or torque causing gear slips, and the inefficiencies leading to battery overheating. After every problem, they reanalyzed, adjusted according to formulas and calculations, and implemented solutions. This process was never easy. Sometimes the solar panels didn't give the expected output. Sometimes the electric motor couldn't handle the load. Sometimes the battery storage capacity didn't meet the required standard. But every failure made these young men more curious and innovative. They looked at every technical challenge as a puzzle and solved it step by step with logic. Finally, after months of hard work, continuous testing, and tweaking, they succeeded in making a functional solar-powered motorcycle motorcycle, a bike that could run consistently with limited sunlight, a lightweight motor, efficient battery storage, and a durable chassis. This success was not only a sign of technical mastery, but also a symbol of the youth's problem-solving ability, innovation, and hard work. That first wheel, which perhaps was just an experiment in a small workshop, actually became a direction showing that even with limited resources, big dreams can become reality. The young men tested every aspect of innovation, reducing weight from old spare parts, making the battery last longer, and improving the bike speed. Every experiment was a lesson, and every lesson took them further ahead. These young men were not just making a bike, they were giving a message. Creativity and courage can defeat even the lack of resources. This bike runs, but the secret hidden inside it may be greater than your imagination. The heart of the solar bike is the solar panel and battery system. These panels absorb sunlight and convert it into electricity. But this electricity is not only for running, it is also stored so that the bike can run even after sunset. The battery system turns every moment of sunlight into energy and provides enough electricity for traveling at night. This bike produces no smoke, no noise, and requires no expensive fuel, just light and the power to turn light into speed.
Villagers gathered around. In every eye, there was a sparkle of astonishment and excitement. The young engineers' hearts were also beating fast. The first wheel began to turn, and for a few moments, it felt like just a dream. But then the bike picked up speed without petrol, without smoke, without noise, and left the villagers amazed. When this bike successfully ran on the road, it was not just an invention, but a victory of courage and hard work against poverty. The world looked at this invention with amazement. Media gave wide coverage. Multinational companies began thinking, if this small country can do this, what effect could it have on the world market? Now the question is, how can this solar bike bring a real revolution in everyday life? The biggest advantage is that it ends the need for petrol. The second and most important advantage is the reduction of environmental impacts. This bike does not emit smoke, does not make noise, and does not harm the environment. The third advantage is that it is cheap and easy transportation. Imagine the roads of the entire country, buses and every vehicle running only on sunlight. From villages to cities, everywhere solar bikes are running. Children are going to school, people are going to markets, and every journey is environmentally friendly and cheap. Now think, if this solar bike comes to Pakistan, how will our lives change? Rising petrol prices, traffic jams, pollution, all these problems will end. On the roads of Karachi, in the markets of Lahore, in the cities of Islamabad, people will be traveling on bikes powered only by sunlight. Every journey will be clean, quiet, and fast. Viewers, now the question is, can this small workshop in Burkina Faso really change the world? And if this invention comes to Pakistan, how will our roads look? This bike is not only a manifestation of technology, but also a symbol of success born out of courage, hard work, and struggle. If you want to know about such astonishing inventions in the world and see how small initiatives can become the foundation of big revolutions, then like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Remember, sometimes a small idea becomes light for the whole world. See you in our next video. Until then, may good protect you.